high school. I said, okay, well, there's some great dances around here in Redwood City. She started going to ballroom dancing, and she's like, gone. She could care less about drugs and alcohol anymore. It's like, where's the next dance? So she's having fun. It's filling her life. It's taking care of her frustration, her anxiety. She's sweating. She's feeling good. This is a key. That's all. It's just a key. We have lots of different things. There's cognitive, there's behavioral, all the different things. But the somatic stuff works. Learning about massage. I don't know about you, but when the first massage I got, somebody went up my back. I couldn't feel anything for about that far up my back. I was so numb. I was so armored. And it took months of work so that I could go, oh my God, I felt that all the way up. You know, it's like, this is a gift. So, what else? Okay. I'm going to throw it to you guys. Any questions? What do you notice in your clients?
How do you work with resistance that can arise with someone who is so incredibly uncomfortable with anything associated with their body?
Go for a walk with them.
That's great.
Walk and talk. Especially guys. Guys don't like talking like this. They like talking this way. It's like, I only talk to my sons playing ping pong. We went, oh, so how is it with Sarah? Have you heard from Sarah? Yeah, what's she doing, man? I sit down and I start, well, Preston, tell me about, oh, Mom. So you have to know that. That parallel play thing is really better. And, you know, just moving with them is a really good thing to do. If you have clients in pain, stretching is a wonderful thing to do with them, and do it with them. If you have this room and they come in and they're in chronic pain, you can get down on the floor with them and, you know, do some simple yoga moves. They start talking. You start moving this and wait. And, you know, there's this great poet I love, David White, and he has all these CDs out. He's now a circuit speaker, but he can like quote Yeats, and he just, you know, he's a performer. But one of the things he says is, we're not responsible for the whole conversation. We're only responsible to start it. And sometimes starting it is just showing up. Hey, I'm here for you. Nice to see you. Let's go for a walk, you know? And then you get out there and it's like there's all kinds of things to talk about, and it starts unfolding. But it's tough. You know, I think teenagers are the worst because they've been not heard. So, anything else? What percentage of older people do you have here?
What's old? Sure.
Like 70s, 80s. You don't have any people coming in with pain, meds, abuse?
Yeah, we had a 73-year-old.
Well, we get a lot of chronic pain people who are in their 20s and
Yeah.
30s.
Yeah, the mindfulness stuff and Alexander technique work really great with chronic pain. Teaching them how to, you know, Alexander, F.M. Alexander was a guy, he was an actor, and he realized that every time he'd perform, it's like 1800s, he'd perform and his throat would constrict and he'd lose his voice by the end of the show. So he went to Australia and studied himself for like 2 years in the mirror. And he found that if we allow the bones of the body to hold us up, we can learn how to not muscle our way through our life. And it's like the muscles constrict when they're not in alignment. So, working with someone with chronic pain, you can do this exercise where if you just stand with them and you say, okay, we're just going to do some body awareness stuff. Put your hand up, and we're just going to pay attention. I want you to pay attention to the muscles, say your shoulder muscle. I want you to soften it. See if you can just think a little space in between the bone here and the bone here. And then I want you to just soften this. Just allow it to extend. And then see if you can get a little space in between each finger joint. And it's the mindfulness and the attention that takes them away from the constricting to guard the pain. And it really works. It helps them not fight the chronic pain. You know, the thing with chronic pain is kind of like that Mobius strip. It's like they're afraid of the pain, so they're constricting to avoid it, and that causes the pain, and it's, this back and forth thing. So it's, noticing the pain and going into it. Okay, so we're going to go into it instead of away from it. So it's huge training in that if you're interested. So he's done a great job with that Alexander stuff. Compulsive behaviors. You have compulsive behavior clients? Yeah. Eating disorders, the Alexander stuff works great with them as well. Yeah.
Is there training available in this online or other places?
There's an Alexander school up in San Francisco. It's with ACT. They teach Alexander technique at Juilliard, the music schools. It's for people that get into repetitive behaviors, teaching them. So it's like if I play violin, instead of doing this where I'm going to have all this injury, all you really do is like you think out your elbows and all you're doing is moving this. And so they work with you to learn how to soften, release, so that you don't injure yourself. They call it thinking person's body work, actually. And it helps. It helps with addictions in that noticing craving, when somebody's jonesing for their drug, it's like, okay, there it is. Where do you feel it in your body? Well, it's like, I feel it here, my hands are clenching. Okay, so when else do you feel that? Yeah. It's like, okay, what's that familiar to? That whole thing. It's the constricting because of a need. I'll never forget, I asked this guy, I said, so what does heroin do for you? And he just sat there and he went, oh. And he had all these tattoos up the inside of his arms. And it was like I got it. It's like the expanse. You get that expanse. So let's teach them how to expand. If that's what the drugs do to them, let's teach them how to do it. The thing is, there's a book about addiction, and it says that, we're so trained that when we drink and that drug goes in, that it like hits all the morphine receptors so strongly that